Yeah, we're recording now, so they missed the beginning, but luck for them. Yeah, so back to what I was saying. I personally I love the fundamental aspects of crypto world and what these companies are promising to do. I think the potentials of these companies is through the roof. Like I said before, I think we could totally see another Google, another Amazon, another company of that stature come through from this market, from this field of tech. What I say. So yeah. Um, on the next thing, so the crypto catalog here. This is basically what I've spent a lot of my time on and what I've been working on in terms of where I put my work into cryptos. This is the idea behind this is an open source wiki for anything for any crypto project you may cover. Like this, it's an idea for someone who's maybe never heard of this crypto project before to come and look. Includes the description, when it was developed, what stage of the development been, if it's still like a prototype or working or whatnot. The use case, competition, coin info, and I've sorted these all in the terms of what they're trying to achieve. So as you have your baseline protocols, Bitcoin and Litecoin, you have your payment infrastructure, mostly focusing on the financial tech aspects of crypto world, privacy coins, smart contracts, an Oracle, security, interoperability, DAGs, sovereignty, fintech. As you can see, there's a lot of coins in here, and some of them are filled out, some of them are not. I do plan on getting to most of the cryptos in here and filling all of this information out. But as you can see, it is a pretty lengthy document. Um, I would want to share that this is completely open source. This is in our chat right here under the crypto catalog. And anyone who does want to work on this is very well more than welcome. I would love people to help and get on this because most of this information is widely available on the internet, and it's just a matter of going to find it and storing it here. But the idea is to have it all organized and widely available, so you can just take a look and cross compare some coins that you may have questions about. I do intend to build what's it called, index, so to say, or a description, like explaining more of these more technical terms, like proof of work versus proof of stake. There's also delegated proof of stake, ERC 20 tokens, just to like explain the differences between those and what they actually mean. That is in the works that I'm working on right now. But yeah, going back to this crypto catalog, I think this serves to be a very good way. It's a good outline to evaluate crypto projects because we all know, like, you've seen BitConnect or other cryptos that were pretty much a scam and ran with everyone's money. So the idea behind this is identifying projects that have strong fundamentals that are set up for success in the future, allowing us to get invested on the ground floor with these cryptocurrencies. Yeah, I'll go over like the core components of this catalog. First, we have the description of the coin, the coin is trying to do, what makes it different. So to say, like, what is it, just in general sense. Development stage includes when it was released, whether or not it's a working product or if it's still beta or what have it. The use case, problem solved, adoption. I think this is probably the most valuable column of information in this catalog. I do have considered ideas to splitting this up into a more, how should I say this, an easier way to fill this out because this is a pretty broad topic to try to fill out. This was where I think these cryptos really derive their value because we all know Bitcoin is a store of value and it's going to be a way for people to send money or put value in, like decentralized way on a decentralized ledger. But what difference has, like, what's the difference between Litecoin and Bitcoin, so to say? And my main difference I've seen for Litecoin and Bitcoin is just simply that the block times are half Bitcoins. So I think that information is extremely essential when you're trying to evaluate these crypto projects because a lot of these coins are very promising in what they're trying to do, but at the same time, the Bitcoin platform has the most developers working on it. And so in the sense that these other coins want to be specialized and do their own thing, there's a very good chance that Bitcoin could just adopt their software, adopt their technology, and do the same thing they're trying to offer. So this kind of category is really meant to be what separates this coin. Does this coin even need to be on a blockchain in the first place? There's a lot of people just using the term blockchain now in their company because it's the hot button topic of the world right now, especially in terms of investing and finance. For example, Long Island Iced Tea added the word blockchain to their company, and their stocks went up something 30% in one day. So this column is really here to try to differentiate these projects, what they're really trying to do, what their actual use case would be, why they're valuable as a project, why this needs to be on a blockchain, so to say. The next column here is pretty self-explanatory, the competition they'd have in the current market, who they'd be facing. I'm going to scroll down here. These ones are more filled out. Then we get into the coin info. So I think this is crucially important. That is overlooked by most people because how the coin is released and the mechanics of it are critically important to the value of it and how people will continue to value it in the future. Some of these coins are been mined or pre-mined, like Bitcoin, and run up proof of work. We know that is a proven model of how coins can be established and derive value because proof of work runs by miners, and in order for someone to get a coin, you have to mine a coin. In order for a coin to be created, they have to mine it, which generates supply and demand inherently. Noteworthy details. This is the sort of outline. If there's anything I think that's specific to this coin, or anyone else may think that's specific to this coin that makes it worth more, maybe worth less, something worth to work on. I noticed, for example, Ripple has held 55 million of their coins, which is over 60%, just holding in an escrow, which to me makes their project very centralized in nature due to the fact that over half the supply is in control of one entity. That, I think, in my opinion, defeats the purpose of decentralization, making them a very centralized coin. Disclaimer, I do own some Ripple. I do believe the value will go up, but it is also one of the first coins I'll be looking to sell once that value gets to a level. I think the next bull run we'll see a lot of these coins go up to the roof again like we did last time. This column is also a more easier column to fill out with the circulating supply, max supply, and coin purposes. Coin purposes is also another really key thing to look at because some of these coins want to be a store of value, or let me get my notes here. Yeah, the speculative value versus utility value. So you have to understand with some of these projects is whether or not this coin will be used as a medium of exchange or just simply a utility token for this coin. So most of these coins, like Ripple, for instance, they have three projects: XSwift, XRapid, or XVIA. The only coin which the native XRP token is necessary for is XSwift, meaning that the other projects and the other products they offer, you don't even need to hold Ripple to use them. So a lot of this is like, for example, another example is Ethereum. Ethereum is an app token. In order to use a smart contract on Ethereum's platform, you need to exchange Ethereum for Bitcoin or whatever. That's the native currency to that platform. So for some of these coins, a lot of them are simply just a utility token, meaning that for the value of this coin only derives from the number of people using this platform and the number of people actually using this network. So for a smaller project, for them to claim that they want to be a store of value or a medium of exchange is a very far-fetched claim, because that is claiming that a lot of people are going to be using this platform and putting money into it. When the reality of it is, most of these platforms, yeah, they may offer a service, but let's say we're using, let's find one here. I'm looking for Funfair. I don't even have this filled out, but I know this is an app token. So let's say we're using Funfair. This one is to do with gambling and blockchain. So their blockchain is it enables transparency and allowing to see the odds when you're gambling on online casinos. So for this coin purpose, like if we wanted to use it, we're going to exchange our Bitcoins for Funfair tokens. We're going to use the Funfair tokens to gamble, whatever we want to do with them. But there's no reason why I would hold on to my Funfair tokens after I'm done using them. That being said, like the value of this coin is simply derived from the value of the network. So I'm not going to be holding Funfair because why would I when I know that this coin is just it's used for a service, and the value of that service may or not be valuable to most people, like in the sense that, yeah, where am I going with this? Hold on, guys. I lost my train of thought. Utility versus speculative value. So this coin, right now, we're seeing a lot of these coins are being speculated on because their projects are claiming they're going to do X, Y, Z. The Funfair claims it's going to be the deal and online gambling service coin. So, but in the same sense, this coin is just simply a utility coin. This coin is simply used to use this blockchain. The value of this coin is simply a utility token. That in comparison to Bitcoin, where people have actually are holding this currency and they are believe it has intrinsic value. So the coin purpose of these coins, I think, is extremely is extremely critical to note because that will determine the coin's long-term potential and the long-term value of these coins. Yes, right now we are still in a speculative bubble of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general because the adoption rate of these coins has not caught up yet. You still cannot pay for things in Bitcoin in the sense generally. Yeah, there's some merchants that are beginning to do that, but most of these coins and most of these projects' value are simply because people are speculating on the value of blockchain as itself, and they think that it will rise. I do believe that as well, but that's something to note for the future. And the sense that once that bubble does pop, which it will happen, a lot of those coins that aren't a store of value, that don't have that intrinsic value of people valuing the coin and a place to store money, those would be, I think, the first projects that will take the biggest hits when the bubble pops. Going forward, another key aspect when evaluating crypto projects is, I think this is actually one of the most important things, if not the most important, next to the mechanics of the coin, is the people involved. And so when you're evaluating crypto projects, you definitely want to check who are the people making this project. Have they made a crypto project before? Have they had recent success? Are these a bunch of no-name people you've never heard of? The team advisors and the founders are critical to know because you want to know who is running these projects and if they have a track record of success or not. For example, Jed McCaleb is one of the most influential people in the cryptocurrency world. He was the original creator of Mt. Gox. I don't know if anyone knows about that. That website was basically one of the first places in the world, the first websites in the world where you could buy and sell Bitcoins. That website, he handed over control of that website shortly after he made it due to the fact that he did not want to control it. Sold it to Mark Caples, who then ran it in Japan. And most people know this was one of the first times Bitcoin crashed. This was back in 2014. Mt. Gox was hacked. A lot of people lost their money. And yeah, so Jed McCaleb, in my opinion, is one of the original people in this industry. And he has a lot of credibility in what he does because of all the things he did. So after he created Mt. Gox, he actually created Ripple. After he created Ripple, he created Stellar. Stellar is actually one of my favorite coins. I think its value derives a lot from the fact that Jed McCaleb, one of the original innovators in this field, is the creator of it, and I think that alone stands for a lot. Not to mention all the other things which you can find out on my catalog. Go through and look for that for yourself. So yeah, back into the people involved, I think that is huge to say. Like when it's a huge part of your evaluation of these coins, looking into who is behind these coins. Are they transparent? Is this a team of people that want to put their faces and names and their reputations at stake? In this wild west of new coins and all this money that's being poured into the blockchain industry, you want to make sure that there are reputable people behind these projects. That is a key component to evaluating them. Next comment here is the developer activity. There's still some pretty funny things on here. I wrote this project a few months ago, and I had some fun with it, put some humor into it. So every once in a while, you'll see some random comments like this that are not the most professional, but yeah, we'll clean that up eventually. So developer activity and achievements, community. The idea behind this is to know who these people are working with, if they have partnerships, what they've achieved, their achievements, the community behind these coins, because that serves to also be how involved this project is. Is this a project with a bunch of people in their garage that just made a coin with a bunch of promises? Or are these people making real world partnerships? This is right into my next comment. On my next column, are these people making real world partnerships with real companies that are willing to invest their money and their company stake and reputation in these projects? That's another key aspect of evaluating crypto projects. For reasons I said before, the same thing as a team of founders. Moving on to next column of this, how I evaluate crypto coins is the marketing. We all know how huge like marketing is in this. We see a lot of pump and dumps. We see that there's still a crowd mentality in this industry. When the coin pumps, it pumps hard, and it usually pumps hard until it dumps, and it dumps really hard right after that. So the social media stats are very huge in the sense how many people are talking about this, how many people know about this. Is this a coin that is pretty under the radar, or are there a lot of people still knowing about this? Roadmap events, I think this is pretty understated. I might want to make this some more significant, maybe move it up to the front. I think this is really how you can see if this crypto project was just an idea, or is this crypto project actually doing something? Are they doing what they say they're going to do? This is how you check a coin's progress. This is how you check if they are making strides to what they say they're going to do. Right now I have right here Lightning, and I'm going to add, what's it called? Lightning and Bitcoin right now is experiencing two SegWit. So right now on the Bitcoin protocol, they're testing out Lightning and SegWit adoptions for the protocol. These are both scaling solutions. As we know, some of the biggest problems behind blockchain right now are the scaling issues between blockchain and compared to like Visa. So Visa does, I believe, 4,000 transactions per second. Right now, blockchain is only capable of 7. So if any of you guys were investing back in the December, January bull run, you'd have known that sometimes processing a blockchain transaction could have took days, even almost a week in some cases. And the fees were also crazy. So these are both projects that are looking to fix those issues and upgrade the functionality of this network. Exchange listings is pretty self-explanatory. That'll tell you what exchange this coin's on. And so yeah, marketing here is just to give you an overall sense of how this company is interacting with the community. How transparent is this company? Are they following up with what they're saying? Are they keeping up with their promises? So to say, that's another great. So I think those categories overall, your project details, your coin information, your coin mechanics, the people involved with this coin, the marketing, are basically, those are what that for. That's the 4 things I look at when I'm trying to evaluate a coin. There's another category here, the network health. As I was saying before, this is a little more technical and involved, and I've started to realize that a lot of this information isn't quite available yet, but it is available for the biggest currencies. This in a sense is how well is this coin being adopted? Are people actually using the network? The network strength can be measured. That's why a hash rate. So Bitcoin's right now is 20,000 terahertz per second. And this pretty much measures all the number of computers on this blockchain, running this network. The more hash rate they have, the better. That simply means the more computers are running this network, which in turn means more people are using it, which is a good sign for any cryptocurrency. So you want to be aware of how well this is being adopted, how many people are actually running this. I also put on here GitHub activity, so you can actually go on GitHub. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. I can show you guys that. GitHub will show what people, you can see the actual code of these projects. And all these code cards are open source. Sorry. All these projects are open source. So you can actually go and look at the code if you wanted to. You can search right here for Bitcoins. So you can go and look on GitHub, and you'll see exactly how many people have committed to this. Commits are people adding code. So Bitcoin's been committed to 17,000 times. There's 10 branches of 522 people have worked on it. So this is a great way to check basically the health of the network. You can check to see whether or not these projects are being actively worked on. How many people are working on these projects? this again is another great way to evaluate the strength of a crypto project. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in terms of how to evaluate cryptocurrencies. What I look at, how I evaluate crypto coins, and this catalog right here, like I said, is an open source. Anybody can go on and look on it. Anyone can add information. Anyone can delete information. It's entirely out there. The idea is the wiki. So the more people are using it, the more people are updating it, the better. I have a bunch of these coins. I have a few of them filled up. As you can see, there's also a lot of blanks. It is a pretty ambitious project, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, so that's how I evaluate cryptos. That's what I look at. That's what I'm looking for when I look at a new coin. Basically, maybe say if you guys have a new ICO or a new coin you want to look at that's not on here, we can dive deep into the coin and get into the white paper, which also is this is where I get a lot of the information I get on here is from the white paper of these crypto coins. Yeah, so on to the next. I'm going to show you guys some of the resources I use for crypto sentiment analysis. This is my YouTube page. You guys I'm about to start uploading these onto Crypto Crux, my YouTube page. I'm going to start making more videos on the differences, some of the more technical things like proof of work, proof of stake. Yeah, basically making a YouTube page for anything crypto related in relation to this OA family. So here's my subscription. These are the guys I like to watch. Modern Investor. You guys can read this for yourself. These are some I think, pretty reputable sources that have some non-biased information. You know, you have to take everything you see on YouTube with a grain of salt because a lot of these people are shilling these coins. They're invested. They want you to buy it too. So again, everything that you see on YouTube, take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, there's some great information out here. I know Mikey likes this girl a lot, Crypto Candor. She does some pretty awesome breakdowns of coins. So this is a great way, just especially when you're on the road, or just hop on YouTube, watch a video of some crypto things. I like to do that a lot. It gives you fills my time, when I'm bored with that. Another information, CoinDesk, I showed you guys this before. This is another great source of information. Also YouTube, not YouTube, I just mentioned YouTube. Reddit and Twitter are great places to find sentimental analysis. That's actually where I kind of got started with this. I would just log on to Reddit every day and show you my Reddit feed. It's pretty much all cryptos at this point. But Reddit is, take it for what you want. It's similar to YouTube. There's a lot of trolls on here. A lot of people making jokes. A lot of people having fun. But this is where I found coins basically that I might not have found before. Like there's a lot of people shilling on here. These people will keep you pretty updated with the news and stuff. So I subscribe to basically every coin I'm interested in. If you want to look at their coin specifically, you can. The Reddit cryptocurrency page itself is pretty useful, but again, like I said, take everything on here with a grain of salt. But there are some insightful people on here. There are some people mentioning some coins you may not have heard of, and it's a good way to get a lead on a coin that you might not have never heard of. You might find one on here like, ooh, what's that? And then go dive deeper and find it for yourself. So this is a great place to find new coins, find things that people are talking about, just getting that overall sentiment. Twitter as well is another great place to find those that kind of analysis. When you're not looking to do more technical analysis, you're just looking to find what people are talking about, what's the popular coins. Usually by the time it hits Twitter or Reddit, I do have to mention that you probably missed your opportunity. If it's on the front page, Twitter or Reddit, that means the coin probably is already pumped. So there's that. But it's also a great way to determine. I've sold coins when I see, oh, this is trending on Reddit or Twitter, probably a time to sell. I strongly follow the old adage of observe the masses, do the opposite sort of thing. So you can see on these websites what people are talking about. It's a great way to find sentimental analysis on these coins. Yeah, so that's pretty much mostly what I had for you guys today. This is more just an overview of how I value crypto projects. Next week's maybe we can do more so in-depth analysis of any coins you guys may have, or we can talk about any discussions within the blockchain crypto world right now. I think there's very interesting discussion going on right now between proof of work, proof of stake. Ethereum might be switching to proof of stake. If anyone doesn't know the difference between that, proof of work involves miners. Proof of stake more about staking. So that just affects how the network's valued and how new coins are commended, like how the protocols of how the coin is governed in a sense. I can recommend you guys some books. I have Crypto Assets by Chris Bernstein and Jack Tatter. That has pretty much, I read that book when I first got into cryptocurrencies. Gave me a lot of insight to just how to evaluate these coins, what the differences between these insurance models, like insurance models, how these coins are released, how to evaluate them in terms of investing and such. Another good one, if you're more interested in just the history of it and the people behind cryptos, is Digital Gold. I'm thinking that's one of my crypto webbies or one of my next videos I'm going to do. I'm going to do more of the history of the people involved in this project and what's happened so far. Like I was saying before, Chad and Caleb, Mark Abeles, Charlie Shrem, the Winklevoss twins, all those good people. Um, yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today. Does anyone have any questions for me or anything you guys want to talk about before this web ends? I know it's basically just me talking your guys' ear off at this point, but yeah, the idea for it in the future is maybe I'll have like a topic I'd like to talk about, a new coin I'd like to show you guys, and make it more so like an open discussion. If you hear something in the crypto market that you're unsure, if you have news you want to talk about, just that kind of thing. Today was basically more an overview of how I look at things and what I do. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and send them now.
Uh, yeah, I got a question.
What's
So
up, man?
why does Bitcoin and like Ripple like they kind of mimic each other in the market? I noticed that in, like the past couple of days. Like if one goes down, they all go down, and one goes up, they all eventually go up.
Yeah, great question. Appreciate that. So basically at this point, every single currency is traded for Bitcoin. So if you want to, most coins you go on TradingView here, they aren't pegged with the US dollar yet. I think Ethereum is on a few exchanges, but Ethereum does its own movements in a little bit of sense. But at the same time, most of these coins are pegged to Bitcoin. So if I wanted to exchange my Ripple, I have to exchange it through Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin still is the major driver of this market, and the coins usually do follow Bitcoin's patterns. This market is still manipulable in the sense that, like on a smaller coin, if a whale were to send or sell or buy a lot of that coin, they can move the price. So some altcoins you'll see will move independently of Bitcoin, but the majority of them do follow Bitcoin for the majority of the time, just simply because they are paired. Like we'll see here on Ripple, you it is tied to the US dollar on Kraken. That is news to me, but most of these are paired with Bitcoin. So you have to exchange it through Bitcoin first. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool, cool. So yeah, I noticed that too. That's one of my first things I go on these charts. You look at these charts, is like a lot of them are the graph looks pretty much the same on a lot of them. So for the general sense, the market will move in the footsteps of Bitcoin, but there can be fundamental news or should something that happens with the crypto coin in itself, like if Ripple has big news, it can move like tremendously without following Bitcoin's footsteps. But in general, they do usually follow Bitcoin.
And also, I heard that Ripple was gonna partner with Amazon. Do you know like how true that is?
I have not heard that. I would have to look into that, my friend. I've not been aware of that, but that maybe could be something we could talk about for next week. That's quite interesting. I'm gonna do some research on that after this.
All right.
Anyone else have any questions? I think my free webby is about to end here. I would make another one if you guys do have more questions, but if not, this is your last chance. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Thanks for everyone for coming today. This is more so my first time doing one of these kind of things. I had a little outline of things to talk about, and yeah, maybe next time we can chat, talk about more things in specific. What have it. I love some feedback in the crypto chat, and yeah, thanks guys for coming. Look forward to talking with you guys next week. Peace.